Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. Downtown Oklahoma City, the Bricktown Ballpark. Today we are joined by a very, very, very special guest. Third time you've joined Ben Casparius. Yep. We're talking about. It's always an honor to get to speak with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Casey.
First of all, I gotta say, man, that short sleeve hoodie right there, that thing's rocking, man. That's sweet, isn't it?
It is. I gave it a little cut. It's about 95, 100 degrees here, so it's time for a little short sleeve action instead of all the long sweatshirts. And
so just know, every time I talk to you from here on out, this is always going to be the first question.
Yeah.
You're out to eat, and say it's the off season, and you're with your girlfriend, hopefully fiance someday. You said you got to make the major leagues before you buy a ring, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so you're at the restaurant. So who gets noticed first, Ben Casparius or Aaron Matson?
Aaron 99, maybe 100 out of 100 times. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially being in Carolina too. She's noticed everywhere.
Yeah.
I think there's more people know her than not, so it's cool for her.
A light moment there with Ben Casparius. I know we know each other well enough. So
yeah.
Hey, also Coach Penders at UConn, man. They made it to the regionals. They went into OU. I know you wanted to go check them out at OU when they were in Norman. But wow, what a season they had, right?
Yeah. Again, definitely exceeded expectations. And again, it's just a totally different landscape with the transfer portal, the transfer portal, the talent that they're able to get, and year in and year out, they're developing guys. Guys want to go play for them, and again, there's a reason they are, the longest tenured coaching staff together, and they do a great job, and they deserve all the credit they've been given.
Absolutely. I always love asking you this question because you always do such a great job of explaining it. And hey, you came into the system with all this crazy stuff, and it's great to throw it on the track, man. But then you got to figure out your sequences. You got to figure out what pitches actually land in the strike zone consistently. So you've used the entire minor league process to figure out what Ben Casparius can actually execute consistently. Take us through that entire process.
The adjustments you have to make per level. I think the farther you go up, the less swing and miss you're going to get, the less chase you're going to get. And just being able to refine your mix and figure out, especially being a starter, what are your two in zone options? What pitches am I going to get away with outside of the zone? What am I going to get, what takes am I going to get in the zone? And I just think at the end of the day, it's just trusting what you do have that specific day, because you're going to go out there plenty of times and not feel good or not have your A stuff. But I think just going through the scouting report and figuring out what's the best plan of attack per guy in the lineup, especially second, third time through, what's going to give me the best chance to have success getting through the lineup 2 or 3 times. And I think this year it's definitely taken a huge step in the right direction.
It absolutely has. So you've been at every level. You got really hot there at the end of your Rancho stint there. I mean, I think you were like the pitcher of the week, something like that, right before you got promoted. You've been to High Great Lakes, spent good time there, went to Tulsa, and now you're in Oklahoma City. Which jump to you has been the most difficult, and take us through each jump?
I think the most difficult jump was high A to double A, because I think I left high A with a very refined mix. Yeah. And then it was figuring out how to use that in certain situations. It's obviously a very, being in the Texas League and the PCL, it's 2 extremely hard places to pitch, if not the hardest places to pitch in the country. But I think the jump from Rancho to high A was difficult too, just because I hadn't had a refined mix yet. It was still kind of a 2-pitch mix with a third fringy changeup. So I think going into Tulsa last year, I think it was figuring out hey, I do have a really good refined mix now as a starter, 3 or 4 pitch mix. How do I use it correctly? And that took probably a month and a half or so, and I think that's when I started having really good success towards the back half of that year, the last month and a half or so.
So you spent all this time, we talked about, hey, the mix was looking great, the ball was coming out of your hand great. Then there was a period of time to where the results weren't necessarily following just all the improvement you were making. Then the results did. Yeah. They came. I kept telling people they're coming, just wait. And then they did, and you get off to this great start this year for AAA Oklahoma City. There's going to be a lot of opportunity with the Major League club, and then you get hurt, man. Yeah. That had to be crushing.
It was, and I think the maturity aspect of just kind of trying to stay grounded. For me, it's taking care of business every single day. And I just keep telling myself, I'm exactly where I want to be in terms of my career, what I am trying to get out of being a professional baseball player. And where I am physically at the moment, and with again, like the refinement of everything that's taken over the course of 3 years. I think it's really just staying grounded and taking care of every day at hand, and you know, it happens at unexpected times. So that's really my goal, is just to stay consistent, keep the highs not too high, the lows not too lows, and just kind of go throughout the week, and I think good things will happen.
Take us through the injury and the rehab.
Yeah. So it was the end of the third inning against Albuquerque. I think it was, I want to say June 18th. So about the end of June. Just I had a tweaked oblique, I think a grade 1 strain. Wasn't anything serious. I think the rehab process was really good, and I was able to really take care of some stuff in the weight room. Obviously, like Chelsea did a great job taking care of me and everything too. So I think the rehab was great. I think it was also a period of time where I can kind of just like, for the first time in a long time, even with, you know, I went straight from the season to the fall league, and then took I only really was able to take a week or two off from throwing. It was just a period of time where I got to kind of reflect on the season and see where I'm at mechanically with how I'm attacking guys, pitch usage, everything. And it was great. We took it slow. I took about a week off from throwing, and then I feel like I honestly haven't really skipped a beat since I came back, and I'm happy about that.
So the fastball's always been an okay pitch for you. It's never been your crown jewel, but boy, I'll tell you what, it's starting to turn out to be that way. What unlocked?
I think just trusting it in the zone. I think, again, like it's give or take with the level that you're at. I think in low A, there's not a huge body of work. Right. So a lot of the damage that's done is random. Same thing with high A. I think here, guys are smart enough to, you know, sit on a certain pitch or sell out for a certain pitch at times. And I think just being able to go out there and try and generate as many swings as I possibly can before getting 0-2 or 1-2 in a count has really helped me use my fastball more, and like having conviction behind it, where it's, you know, I'm throwing this fastball to put it in the strike zone, not try to baby it or be cute with it. And the more fastballs you throw in the zone, the more swings you're going to get, and then you're keeping them guessing with the slider, and that's what I want to get to, obviously. And the same thing with the slider too. If I'm throwing it in the strike zone, I'm going to get more chase with it out of the zone, and it's going to help my fastball play up also when I do throw it.
So talk about your mix and the sequencing that you're kind of going through now.
Yeah. Right now, I'm throwing a 4-seam, a 2-seam supplemental, a slider, a curveball, a changeup, and I'm working on mixing in a cutter at some point. And I know that some of my pitches get tagged as cutters. I think they're just kind of sliders I throw at 2 strikes.
I always hesitate when I see it.
Yeah, I think they're just pitches that I'm just letting rip, and it's going to be a little bit harder than the others. But yeah, I think the biggest pitch was probably the curveball. Like when I started throwing that at the back end of Tulsa and started to get feel for it in the strike zone, that's just something where it's going to protect my fastball a little bit better, having more of a vertical plane. And it's something where it doesn't need to be perfect in the strike zone, but if I keep it on the plate, it's just another pitch where they have to be honest with it. They have to, you know, they have to respect it. They have to honestly sit on it, and if they are sitting on it, I get lucky enough, like that's going to help my fastball play up in the zone a little bit more too.
Fantastic. Ben Casparius, I know you're super busy. Third time you've come into Dodgers Daily. It's an honor every time I get a chance to talk to you. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Casey. Thank you.